Welcome to InCaf podcast that looks at how climate change will alter our food, the podcast that dives deep into the implications of a warming world on our agricultural systems. I'm your host, and today, we're unwrapping the complex connections between climate change and food security. The figures are stark. By 2050, the global population is expected to surge to nearly 10 billion. With billions of additional mouths to feed and a growing appetite for meat and dairy in developing nations, global food demand could rocket up to a staggering 98%. It's a call to arms for agriculture worldwide, a pressing need to magnify production and boost yields. However, scientists paint a troubling picture, warning us that climate change could severely undercut the quantity and quality of our food reservoirs. Already, we're seeing potential harbingers of this ominous future. Recent research points to a possible 35% plummet in global vegetable and legume yields by 2100, owing to the relentless march of greenhouse gas emissions fermenting water scarcity and elevating salinity and ozone levels. In the United States, treasured staples like corn face a cliff-edge drop of up to 50%, particularly if temperatures barrel up by 4°C, a far from unthinkable scenario if emissions continue unabated. The blaring siren is the dread of plummeting yields, which could exacerbate the already dire challenge of feeding the world and widen the chasm of inequality. Our agrarian woes aren't confined to the fields. Meats, fisheries, and all fundamental food principles are on the climate change radar. Rainfall patterns, the lifeblood for rain-fed crops that make up 80% of the world's agriculture, are faltering under climate pressures. The consequent droughts, intense downpours, and water scarcity are altering the very essence of farming. Let's turn our gaze beneath our feet, where a silent crisis brews. Groundwater, the invisible propellant of our food system, is being drained faster than it refills. As Michael Puma of Colombia warns us, without immediate policy changes, the depletion of this primordial resource in key food-producing hotspots spells a stark verdict for our food systems. The ripple effects don't end at the water's edge. Climate change is a blunt instrument for marine life, too. Our ocean, growing warmer and more acidic, bears witness to shifting ecosystems as fish and shellfish seek refuge in colder waters, and we see the delicate balance of marine life contort under acid's caustic touch. As we've traversed the landscape painted by climate change, it's clear that the stakes are high. It's not just about food, it's about livelihoods, communities, and, ultimately, global stability. The looming question that confronts us is not whether our food systems will change, that's a given, but how resilient we can be in the face of such transformative shifts. As our episode draws to a close, remember that while climate change is a formidable foe, human ingenuity and adaptability are formidable allies. With science and policy harmonizing to stave off the most detrimental impacts, hope has not yet abandoned the field. Thank you for joining us on this episode of How Climate Change Will Alter Our Food. Together, let's stay informed, engaged, and ready to act for the future of our planet. Thank you for listening.